Well, yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to I don't know what this is, man. it's supposed to be called the Easy Talk. It might be like the Crazy House. It's a full house, yeah, full of my brothers, yeah, brothers from my never mother. But to this side over here, I'm sure you guys recognize his brother over here, the guy down here, the guy further down, Glenwyn, and the other guy Prosper. Yeah. Anyway, it's the Easy Talk. It is the Easy Talk. And let's see if we can knock this one out of the park inside an hour. But you know what? No music intros. I'm going to get straight into this and say hello. Mube!
Come on, G. What's happening? My family, I'm back, man. The lost brother, the lost cousin, I'm back. They found me. So they dig me up, come back. I finished fifth last time I was here. Now I'm top of the league. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hennessy on the go. Let's get it.
All right. Okay. Glenwyn! What's happening?
Mubay, are you one of those fans who are good now when they top and then you're not so good when they second or third?
I'm always, I'm actually always good. I'm the one that keep Alex calm, so I'm trying to. I mean, that's what I'm
That's
here for.
true. That's true, actually. That's true.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for the invite, Alex. Thanks, man.
Nice one. Prosper, man. Finally, man.
Yeah. Finally, I'm back here again. It's nice to be here again. It's nice to be on top of the league. It's so relaxing, but yes, yet a bit more tense than ever, but it's getting close. We're getting it. It's coming home. It's coming to London.
Yeah. A little bit closer now. Brother Isaac is in the house.
Yeah. That's me there. This time and moment, it is very, very hard for an Arsenal fan not to brag. It is very hard because we are winning. We are top of the table. Actually, they were saying that the elephant is on top of the tree over here, meaning that Arsenal is the elephant that is on top of the tree that is going to come down.
Oh,
And I'm telling them it's just a blip, and we're here.
Yeah. We're here on top of the mountain, man. Long may it continue. Now, Mube, Glenn has been doing a couple of segments on the channel in regards to, from what I see it, some fans are going from one extreme to the other. There's no middle ground. When we win, they're with us. When we lose, they're calling for Arteta out. Now, Mube, bring some sense to what's going on, man. I know you come hell or rain, you're always there supporting Arsenal, supporting Mikel Arteta. I have never called for a manager to be sacked. All the years I've been supporting Arsenal since the mid-1970s. But your thoughts, I mean, I've seen some of your comments on Twitter. Quite colourful, man.
Apologies for the tweets. My Twitter get wild over there. But no, man, it's just people with agenda. That people that know that they are wrong with what they said about Arteta, and they just can't stand it. They're waiting for us to fail. They're waiting for something to happen, and everything that happened, that's why it goes from so extreme, because they just like, you have an Arsenal fan just thinking that we're not going to win the league, because they don't want us to win the league just to prove themselves right. They're not really fans. They just want to get their own way. So they just go from, the extreme for no reason. They just want to see Arteta fail, and that's the thing. They just can't seem the fact that they don't back him, and it is what it is. I don't really care, really. To me, it's already a successful season. Right now, we just living off the gravy, because if you told me that we were challenging for the league this season, I'd call you a liar. No one think we would be doing this. We were trying to get back into top four. We weren't trying to compete for top four last year, but somehow he got us there with the squad we had. We wouldn't expect it, but he got us to compete for it. And this year we took a bigger step, and now we're competing for the league. No one saw this coming. So people like that, it's just people with an agenda, people that, they want to prove themselves right, and they want to see Arsenal fail just so they can be right. That's the people that I just keep blocking them every time I see them on Twitter. Man. It's annoying. I got at least this season alone, I probably block at least 400 people. It's so easy. So easy.
Wow. Oh my
But so
goodness.
easy, and I keep every day. I don't have time for nothing. Talk, sport, all of them. Gary Neville, everything that's negative, I'm blocking it out. I don't care who you is. You gotta go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mube, before I go to Prosper, if Arsenal do not win the Premier League, would it be a massive disappointment?
It will be disappointment because now that we're in the position that we're in, it would be disappointment, but it's not failure. It'd be
Yeah,
disappointment.
yeah,
At the end of
yeah.
the day, you have to play every team have to play 38 games, and at the end of the season, the cream will rise to the top. But it would be a disappointment. The position that we're in, we've been leading since the season starts. I mean, we've been up there for all this time. 13 games to go now. You do not want to, with 5 points clear, you do not want to see us fall. But will it be a failure? No, it'd be a progress on where we've been at in the past few years. Get back in the Champions League. Finish second or whatever we finish. It's still progress, but yeah, it would be disappointment if we don't finish the league. Trust me, I back
Mm,
Arteta. I back Arsenal, but I will be disappointed too because now I expect to win the league for sure.
yeah, yeah. Expectation, man.
Yeah.
Prosper, your thoughts about the negativity and the positivity, and like it's like the fans don't know whether they're coming or going, man. Your thoughts, Prosper?
Yeah, I mean, what do I say after Mube? I mean, Mube has been so articulate about it. There's not much I can say after that. It's all about the negativity, people trying to prove a point. Whatever point they're trying to prove, I don't know. But
Mm,
as Muga has put it, they're just people who want to show they're better off, that they can pick a better manager all the time. When the better manager, their supposed better manager comes in, they'll be on to another one and the next one. There's
yeah,
no continuity, there's no progress, or there's no building up something. For them, it's just negativity or wins or negativity. But this is soccer we're talking about. You win some, you lose some, you know?
mm,
And as Mubi has put it, it's already a successful season. Remember when we were starting the season, I was like, all right, let's see how far we can push with this team. It's not yet there. We still got a season to go to compete for the league. But here we are. Now we're talking, okay, we can get this. You see? So for me, it's already a positive. The negative people, well, sometimes you cannot understand. It's not all about negativity. We've gone so long without a trophy. So there's that anxiety as well that comes in.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, people have to understand this is a tough competition. Now, looking at the budget we're working with, the team, the players we're working with, in some positions, we only have one player and we're always biting our nails. Please, God, keep this player fit. And that's how we've
Mm.
been going all season, you see?
mm, yeah,
So it's already a win. Let them hate, let them do whatever they want to do. But as it is right now, I can feel the title coming.
mm. Okay. Glenn, again, from the beginning, I did say you've been doing a couple of videos in regards to the
Hello?
extremes, the extremes
Yeah.
of the so-called.
Is there lag? Is there lag? Sorry, sorry.
No, there's no lag. Glenwin. So yeah,
And I look, I mean, I hear what Prosper say, and I hear what Mobile say. It's also, but it cuts more closer to home because it's Arsenal's fans
yeah,
that is also so negative at most because not long ago we lost two games, like recently, City and Everton, and in between that we drew one game. So um, I could hear all the noises about this team. I knew it. I knew it. They're doing an Arsenal thing, irrespective of what happened prior to those games. I mean, we've been doing well. Mobe said it. We've been on top from the word go. So I mean, surely we as Arsenal fans had to see the changes. Though there are still those bunch of fans, Arsenal fans, and you've mentioned it once, Alex. Can we call it class? No, we can't because the way the fans is going on, they're going on like animals and treating the players and the managers like animals, irrespective of the good that has come from this season. Yet they still fail to follow the team. You can't follow the team 100% in terms of they're gonna be losses, they're gonna be points dropped, but 100% being an Arsenal fan to back that team irrespective whether we lose or win. But the brilliance, I call it, the brilliance that has happened since the very first game up until now. There is so much that you can take out of this in terms of a 95 to 5% in much good and 5% of so much bad. So surely there must be an optimistic a mentality of our fan base to back Arteta, because no person thought that Arteta is going to do this. I mean, it's 3 seasons in, eighth, fifth, and now where we are. It's still 13 games to go. So far end to still go, and every game seems so far away, even though it's the day after. So the fan bases have to come up and say, we really have to see what this man has done. Not just him, but his whole crew, including the players. But we can't go and hate on our own team, and we can't go and hate on our own manager. We all were very skeptical about Arteta coming in, because he never been in charge of any team, being a small or big team. He's never been in charge of a team. And for us to be skeptical was by right that we were skeptical, because what is Arsenal doing? A guy with no experience, and we all said it. But surely we should change that tune now, because he's changed things around, and I doubt there's going to be any change for the negative now. He still learn? He will still learn on it, but it can only improve, because now I've tasted the success of what he's trying to do since the start.
Glenwood, do you think part of the mentality of some sections of the fans is the fact that we haven't won the Premier League in almost 20 years? Has that got anything to do with it, or has it got nothing to do with it?
Every fan wants to win a trophy, and whether it was Arteta to win the FA Cup in his first few months as a manager, or whether it's just pure luck, I think some of it has got to go to a lack of winning trophies, obviously. But I think you are a football fan first, man. You're not just an Arsenal fan. You're a football fan. I mean, I watch football, whether it's South African, whether it's England, whether it's La Liga, whether it's Spanish, Italian. You're first a football fan. So surely you need to appreciate the football that has been played, whether it's Real Madrid or whether it's Ipswich. You know what I mean? So it's football. You're a fan first. So surely you need to look at where we were since Wenger left, or even before Wenger, since the last trophy we won in 2004, and up until now, there is a massive turnaround and transition that has happened. So yes, it could be part of a lack of winning trophies that the fans go on, because they obviously, when are we going to win stuff? When are we going to get silverware? And so that plays a major role in it. But sure, you still need to be able to see. I mean, any person can see. The youngest Arsenal fan can see there is a change in it.
Isaac, and to you, your thoughts about, again, the fan base.
I was watching a clip somewhere, and someone was saying that for the Arsenal fans, it takes only one loss for them to change from one extreme
Hey, man.
to the other extreme. And I tend to concur with that sentiment, because it is true. We have a fan base who are like a swinging pendulum.
Mm.
When you're winning, they are with you all through.
Mm.
But one loss on the way, then they are not with you. They are like Arteta out.
Mm.
And one thing I'd like to point out is that Arteta winning the FA Cup is one thing that saved his job, or that has saved his job in a greater way, because that FA Cup gave a cushion to some of the fan base. Had he not won that FA Cup during his first half season, it will have been even worse than it is. Unless the fan base wants a Wenger season that is the invincible season, we've got to understand that is the only team that is invincible in the history of the Prem. I don't remember if there is any team in the history of the Prem that has gone unbeaten. That is the only team that went unbeaten, unless the fan base wants another invincible. But in this modern era of football, it is highly unlikely that you will have an invincible, because especially in the Premier League, anybody can beat anybody. 20th can beat first. It doesn't matter where you sit. But what makes me happy is that we have learned, Arteta has learned. And in one of the press conferences, one of the managers Sean Dyche was saying that winners learn, and we learned from our loss when he was newly appointed Everton manager. We learned something and we changed. So the fan base has got to be patient. And I don't believe you could have any other manager at this point of season that could have put us in first place. They are even comparing Arteta to Ten Hag to Klopp. And one thing I want to tell the fan base, when a manager comes to the Premier League and tells a player to end his playing career early so that he becomes his number 2, there is something special about that player. That is what Pep did with Arteta. He told him to end his playing career early so that he becomes his number 2. There is something special. I've been watching documentaries all over the internet on the praise that has been given to Arteta by the persons who've been very close to him, the persons who've sat together with him, the persons who've trained with him and know his qualities and know what he demands. You can imagine with our squad and where we are, and if we start to analyze, we don't have a great depth in our squad, but where we are, some will say it is luck, and I've heard even some pundits saying that that Arsenal will win the Premier League because it has been the poorest season. How is it the poorest season in the Prem? How is it? While other managers are appreciating the kind of football we are playing, you see this kind and the style of football. My brother Mube here has been with Arteta from the word go. And Alex and I have been with Arteta from the day go. You remember during the pandemic, all through we were like, give the man time. We are not Chelsea of chopping and switching managers. We want stability. And we are reaping from that stability. We are reaping from what he's built. You look at the kind of football that he plays. From the first day, you could see what he wants. He wants us to play from the back. And the kinds of players he wants is a player who can play comfortably from the back. So,
but Isaac, sorry to stop your flow, but is he not trying to turn Arsenal into a Man City? Or is that what he's trying to do at Arsenal, or does it really matter?
Alex,
sorry. It is not Man City, Alex. Remember, this kind of football was first played by Arsenal. It is the Arsenal football. It is just copied by Man City, and we forgot our kind of play, and we started envying Man City. Yes, Glenn, you're saying?
Sorry, man. I've never seen Pep play the football that he's playing now. So I am under the belief that the way Pep brought in that play, that it looks like Arsenal, it's copying them. No, I think it was initially Arteta's idea to push it to Pep and say, let your inverted fullbacks come into the inside. I mean, that's why he's bringing it into our team very, very easy, smoothly. That is my belief, man, and I think Arteta has brought that into Man City because Pep has never played that way. I mean, if you look at
And to get it
Bayern,
from,
you look at
sorry,
Bayern
sorry,
Munich, you
Glenn.
look at Barca. He's never played that way.
Hmm.
Only now,
And to,
when yeah, sorry, you can continue. I mean, I just wanted to make that point.
and to pick it from there, Alex, the system that Arteta plays, just look at it at this season with Man City, how they are playing. They are not playing that fluid football as they used to play. They are struggling in some sense. They are trying so much to focus on one player. But you look at Arteta's football, he is not focusing on one player. He wants his goals to come from all over.
From
And
Ramsdale, even.
yeah, even from Ramsdale, if he can score, score. And this morning I was watching one of the pundits say that Arteta waited for the perfect moment to bring in Zinchenko. He did not want to bring in Zinchenko at a moment where we are not stable, so that the fan base we have will castigate him and say, you bring in someone who does not fit the system. He built the system, yes, and then brings in someone who fits in the system. You look currently, if all of us thought we will struggle after losing Jesus. Have we? We haven't. We haven't missed him.
That was going
So
to be my
any
next
player
point.
that comes
Yeah.
into the system fits the system.
Mube, we haven't missed Gabriel Jesus, have we? And we haven't missed Thomas Partey, really, have we, Mube?
No, well, we did miss Partey for a couple of games. A couple of games he didn't play, we lost him. So, I'm still gonna beat the drum. He's most important player. We need him on the field. Let's pray and hope that he can stay fit for the rest of the season. The next 13 games in the Premier, at least. If he don't play the Europa League, oh well. But he need to play these Premier League games. But we have a good deputy now in Jorginho who's doing this thing. So we're comfortable there. But no, we haven't really missed Jesus. We missed what he has done. We had to play different because he's not there. Eddie and Nketiah is not Jesus. They're both two different players.
Yeah.
You can see now.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of back to where it was at the beginning of the season. Now that we're playing Trossard and Martinelli, because now Martinelli is back cooking when he was with Jesus. He just can't do that with Nketiah. Not that I have nothing against Nketiah. It's just that Nketiah don't go out on the left like Jesus play all across the front. He's not just a center forward. He plays on the right. He plays on the left. He plays through the middle. He holds the ball up. Eddie Nketiah is just a goal scorer. That's his first thought, is to get in the middle of the goal and try and score. With Trossard back in the team now, you can see him and Martinelli are causing trouble because no one knows who. We don't have a center forward playing. They just one keep going on the left and one keep going on the right. They just keep rotating, and that's helping us big time. So we do miss what Jesus bring, but that's what's making me, giving me the hope that we can win this league, because we did all this without him. Eventually, he's going to be back. He's going to be back. If he's back for the last 10 games, the last 8, the last 5, eventually we're going to have that option to bring him off the bench or do something. This is another player, one of our most important players coming back in the squad. And we played with it without him the whole year. So all this noise that people keep saying that we're lucky and this and that, we had to play since November. He was literally our best player. Took us to a different level when he was playing with us for the first part of the season. We haven't played with him since November. We're beating all these teams without him. And everybody else is lucky but us. So that's why I don't even listen to the negativity, man. But that's what's giving me hope that we can finish this, because just the fact that we know he's coming back and we know what he brings to the team.
Who for you has been like the pick of the transfers? I mean, for me, Trossard for me has just hit the ground running, Mube.
He is next level, man. The way he plays, and that's the thing with getting proven players. It's you don't have to worry about him settling in. He already know exactly what he needs to do. He's at the right age. He's not Saka and Martinelli age. He's way older than them, more experienced, played in World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So it was great to bring him in. Jorginho, I'm still, he's not make a bigger impact than that Trossard, I don't think, but just to have someone there to deputize for Partey, instead of having, worried about Sambi. If Partey don't play this weekend and Jorginho starts, none of us will complain because he just come in and he has done a job. So both signings, man, big up to both of them. But yeah, Trezor, you're always gonna pick the flair player over anything else. So we're gonna give it to him. But shout out to Jorginho too, man, because he's definitely take my stress level down a couple notches, for sure.
Just to say something, Mube. In 11 years, it is under Arteta's time that we've bought 8 Premier League players in 11 years, the highest across 11 years. It is Arteta who's brought in 8 Premier League players. We haven't brought in 11 years, but he has done that in his reign.
Let's not count Williams. So 7. We're not gonna count Williams in it. We're not gonna count Williams.
Prosper, for you, which of the
Yeah.
Which player for you?
What do you say?
Which player for you? I mean, out of all the players that we brought, has kind of.
I'll go for Trossard and Zinchenko. I'm really finding it hard to pick from the two. Just to add on what Mube and Isaac and Grain have been saying, talk about this league. I've been a core Arteta fan. Like, I've been going at it with people on Facebook right from the beginning of Arteta's career till today, in the back room where we all hardcore Arsenal people, I'll constructively criticize Arteta, and that's where we should do it. But when we come in front of everybody else, we have to stand behind Arteta and the team. There's that constructive criticism where we say, remember, Alex, a few games ago, we just went too static. Our players were not mobile. It's like Arteta gave them this fixed, rigid structure. So I was like, no, this is not the best way to play because we're too predictable. Martinelli couldn't come in, and Martinelli is more effective when it's playing all over the place, like Zinchenko does. That's when Martinelli becomes too deadly. But he couldn't come in, and sorry to maybe go against Mube's view on Eddie Nketiah. It's just the same as Eddie. I feel the manager has strangled him to be rigid, because every time Eddie goes outside his position, he's creating an assist for someone, and that person is scoring, or either failing to score just because of that person's ability. Not Eddie, but Eddie is always bringing in the good sweet balls that he's never given. Because I've been watching a lot, and nobody's giving him that service that he tries to give everybody else when he goes outside position. So I feel some of these things, we shouldn't blame players a lot, but we should look at what is the manager demanding of this player, because I've got a feeling Eddie is being choked like Martinelli has been choked in the few previous games, where stay on the left, Martinelli, stay on the left, don't come in, let Xhaka come in. But when Xhaka is playing up top, Martinelli can't come in because the players are congested there. You see? Whilst when there's Trossard or Vieira in the game, Vieira is an intelligent player. You know Martinelli wants to come in, he'll go wide. Xhaka will always block this position. So Martinelli is always choked on the line. You see, so it's just that rigidness in our formation that was killing us. And Arteta has realized, the nice part I like about Arteta is that he's always like watching on our platforms and is like, okay, I think this guy's got a point. And let me just try this out. And it's been flexible, and goals have started flowing in, and I love it.
So he's watching Cannon for the TV, you say?
I hope so.
Exactly.
The last time we called him up to Alex, he did not listen.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man.
You remember us suggesting that they bring us the contracts to be their agents to scout players, because we can easily tell them.
Yeah.
But I trust in Arteta, man.
Chief scout.
Yeah.
So Mube, what we kind of smashed Everton, man. That was probably one of the best.
Yeah. What I expect, man, those bums, they need to be relegated. I can't stand Sean Dyche. I don't have a problem with Everton. Let's just get this out of the way. It's Everton, and I don't have a problem with Everton. And my guy will be playing over there. Look at him. I can't stand him. That bum, man. I can't. He's just. I don't know why he's back in the Premier League. They came to the Emirates and they was trying to waste time. 15 seconds into the game, like this is it's so annoying, man. I saw a thing today that said they trying to change the rule in the game where they're gonna stop the clock when the ball go out of play. I'm all for it, man. I'm so sick of these guys wasting time. These referee allowing these goalkeepers to take 45 seconds to take when the ball is in there. I thought it was a 6-second rule. Maybe it's a different thing here in Jamaica where I grew up, or maybe it's a different rule. But I thought you had 6 seconds to get rid of the ball out your hand. These goalkeepers 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and no one says nothing. Yeah. It's so annoying, man. I hope they get relegated. But yeah, this is what I expected after what happened. They beat us, and they came to the Emirates. I wanted 6. I was disappointed with it to score more. I think the players took their foot off the gas, but I wanted 6, 7. I wanted to batter them, make sure they didn't stay up. I want to see them relegated. I'm telling you, Sean Dyche FC need to go. I can't do this next year. I can't do this next year again.
And Glenn, for you against Everton, are you surprised at the scoreline, or you think it should actually?
Yeah, look, I mean, I remember the prediction that I put on your show the night before. It was you put it 2-1, I put it 2-2.
Yeah.
But that was just to sort of draw a bit of banter from the from the chat. My actual prediction was 2-0 Arsenal. I think we had a good game. We had a massive game turnaround. Scoring in the 40th minute, that was, for me, it was such a relief knowing that we're going to go in 1-0 into half. And then the second goal came. I thought it was offside, but it wasn't. So going in 2-0, it was amazing to see the passion that the guys play and the smiles, the body language. I mean, we spoke about body language many a times about the Arsenal before this season, and the body language in that particular game, it was fun to look at because everybody had a smile on their face, and even Ramsdale was he had maybe a few saves to make, but he was just brilliant in this between the sticks. So we just took them to the wire and put the sword through them. And Muba, you sound a bit like Sean Dyche.
You have to match the energy, man. You have to match the energy. We cannot do this for another season. It's like bringing Tony Pulis back in the league. Like, why would they hire him? It's like, come on, man. Everybody I'm telling you, he's not going to change. I don't want the people go say, he's doing this because he's trying to keep him up. He's not going to change. He's going to do the same thing next season. He's going to go and buy a bunch of players from the lower leagues that he knows, and he's going to bring him into Everton, and it's going to be Burnley all over again. I do not want this in the league. I need them relegated ASAP. Okay. I don't even have time to review the game. I didn't even say nothing about the game. It's just him. I don't like him. He needs to go.
Prosper, the game, Everton.
Yeah. I mean, even before the game, even the first fixture, I was like, we're getting the 3 points. I just don't know why it didn't happen. For me, Everton has always been a walkover. It's always been a 3 points. Flukes happen in football. That's why we love football. So the first game was a fluke. Where we wake up, I strongly feel it was getting to the players. We were on top of the league and we shouldn't lose points, so they were a bit stuck up in there. But on this previous game, they were so free. They just went there to enjoy the game and they played their football and it went well.
Yeah. For you, Isaac, before I go into live chat, your thoughts, Everton? Smashed them.
We smashed them, yes, we did. Everton is a bogey game away. We haven't had joy at their ground. But coming to the Emirates, we haven't struggled at the Emirates, but we have struggled away. It is a bogey team away. So we lost away. It was a blip, and then we lost to Man City. But I want to put out a stat that maybe most of us have not seen. Our game versus Man City, we made Man City complete the fewest passes in their history in the Prem. That is under Pep. We made them complete the fewest. Even when Man City came to the Emirates, they were not all of us. Even when you look at the possession, we were above them. So it is the better team lost. That game was down to fine margins, who will make more mistakes and who will capitalize on the mistakes. We did not capitalize on the mistakes that City made, but they capitalized on our errors. And it is only twice this season that we've went behind and we have not come back. It is only twice. Last season and the season before, if we went down a goal, we'll have lost a game. I'm happy that we can go down this season and it is not over until it is over. It is not over for Arsenal even in the 90th minute. How many games have we won on the 90th minute? I can remember the United. I can remember the Aston Villa. And it is not over until it is over. So that game was comfortable. Although for the first half, it was all chaos. There are several theories as to why it was all chaos. The others who are saying we did not know what we were doing. The others who are saying it is Arteta who instructed his players to be chaotic so that they can assess which areas to exploit. But I love the idea of switching players and interchanging players, because a fullback or a centre back cannot be able to track a player out to the wing. Because if you're tracking Martinelli to the wing, you've left a gaping hole that someone else is going to exploit. So being chaotic sometimes is advantageous to us, because you cannot nail down a single player that you are going to play a low block and no one is going to go through you. We are either going to go through you or behind you. If we can't find spaces in between you, then we are going to pull back so that your center backs can come out of parking the bus, so that we can be able to exploit. It was a comfortable game, and I'm happy we won. And one thing, this season we played teams who played low blocks, and this was the first real time we were able to unlock a defiant low block. You remember the Newcastle game? It was hell for us. We were not able to unlock that low block. And teams have come, like the Brentford game, they played a low block and then they advanced to counter attacking. And I was watching the Brentford manager trying to analyze Arsenal, trying to analyze the way we play. And I was like, so you want to tell the opponents how we are playing, but we are going to exploit them. Because we are not like at the moment, we are not like we are dependent on Saka to go through or Martinelli to go through. Saka can go through the wings or even go through. So it is very hard to contain such an attack. An attack who's quick, who have passes that are precision. That is one thing that stands out for Zinchenko, because he can square passes that have precision. Like the first goal against Everton, that was a very precise pass. And the second thing that gives us the advantage is that we are not just receiving the ball anyhowly. You look at even the body shape at when some of these players are receiving the ball. The body shape gives them an advantage, because you are receiving the ball and your body is shaped in a certain way. If the center back touches you, it is a pen. If they let you go, it is a goal.
I want to ask Prosper a question before I go into the live chat. Prosper, I mean, we've heard that Bukayo Saka has agreed terms. He's not signed a contract just yet. Saliba, we've not heard anything about him signing a contract or even agreeing terms. Are you worried that these two players have not yet signed a contract? Prosper?
Honestly speaking, I'm not worried. Simply because there are a lot of dynamics that are at play right now. Right now, our focus is on the league. We really need to get our heads into the game and not on signatures. We have time for that. And sorry to say this, but probably management would have done better during the transfer season to push these things to happen at that time, because this is a very crucial stage of the season, and you don't want to frustrate players like Saka or Saliba because they're key players to the team, you know, through contract issues. So you really need to sit down and say, okay, guys, can we put this on hold? So I'm very sure that they've just put those things on hold on mutual consent. Let's put these things on hold till we get this business done. Then we'll go back to the table and talk about contracts and everything. So for me, it's not a headache. But if it happens that Saka wants to leave or Saliba, I can understand. You know, English players don't have that loyalty to the club as much. When they go, they feel a bit big somewhere. They can easily switch to Man U and still get the love, or to Man City. But you know, the Arsenal we have today, as previously said early in the show, is an Arsenal which can have new players coming in, and it will still produce results. We've got Marquinhos. To me, is a very talented player. If Saka doesn't choose to sign, well and good, we'll say business well done. Thank you very much. Goodbye. If Saliba doesn't choose to sign, the same thing will happen, because we had a rough patch with him, so I can understand his conflict of loyalty at the point. But for me, I strongly feel it's not something to worry about. It's something to do with, okay, let's focus on the football and not the contracts and everything.
Yeah, Mube, very quickly for you. They've not signed contracts. Worried or not?
No, I'm not worried. I know for a fact Saka ain't going nowhere. And Saliba, you see, Gabriel just signed that new contract. Saliba ain't leaving either. I'm not really worried about it, because he got 2 years on his contract too. After this season, he still have another one, I think. So I'm not really worried about neither of them, to be honest. You know, I think as long as we're getting the young players signed up, Martinelli has signed, Gabriel has signed, we're doing good things. We just signed Zinchenko. We're way better position than we've been, you know, over the past 5 years, contract situation wise. So no, I'm not worried about him at all. Saka is Arsenal. He's gonna be here for a while.
Okay, all right.
Alex, before you go into the live chat.
Yeah,
I'm not worried at all.
Go on.
because I know for a fact. Let me give you a theory. Arteta is playing a Mickey Mouse game with us, because he knows these players ain't going anywhere. He's sure and he's confident. At this point in time, you can look at the body language of each and every player in that team. They all want to stay. You look at the kind of celebrations they pull up when a goal is scored. Who doesn't want to stay in a winning team? Everybody wants to stay in a winning team. We win that trophy, you do not even need to convince anybody to sign that contract. They will come knocking themselves. And for instance, you look at the Trossard deal. Trossard was an alternative, but he was offered to us by his agent. We did not go fast looking. He was offered. Everybody wants to stay. So no worries. They are all staying. And Arteta is playing a Mickey Mouse game with us, because he does not want to give out details, including details of players or how long they are out on injury, and he knows they are soon coming back. It is someone who he's become someone who plays his cards close to his chest. He does not want to give. He does not want to give much away. He gives very little away, and he's learned that. And I associate that with a ruthless coach. He does not give much away, but he knows what he's doing.
Glenn, I guess, yeah.
Sorry, Glenn.
You're on mute.
Sorry, man. When I cough, I want to mute myself,
Yeah.
and I forget. I forget. Yeah. Sorry. I agree with all of the guys there, and I think Arteta has been brilliant in keeping secrets. It's like you, Alex. I mean, when you have a show by yourself, you don't want to give much away, so you wait for the next show for to reveal. So that sort of thing. So it is good in the sense that keep us guessing, keep us
Yeah.
wondering, keep us on our toes, and ask questions when. I mean, Saka, he's grown up he grew up in Arsenal, so he's been a ill ender, and Saliba had a very tough time from the first signature. He's been out of the club for 2 seasons. His loyalty is with Arsenal for now because he's playing brilliant football. There's no doubt in any manager's or coach's mind for the France team, the French team, that he will be the first player on that name, even if he plays or not. So he's going places. So all to do with where he plays now. I mean, and previously on his loan spells as well. So I don't have any problem waiting for that signature. Um, the way is that me?
I think so. Yeah.
The way Saka has been talking in interviews is that he's staying at Arsenal. There's no way he's going out. He's staying at Arsenal. So yeah, I think that counts for a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the live chat. We've got Emerson. Good evening, Emerson. Who says, even to all our Canon 4 TV team. Do we have a team? And fans all around the world. And Ange Bear, First Lady of Canon 4 TV, says, evening, Emerson. And Fancast. Yes, Desmond, one of the newest members to the group, says, hello, guys. Colin Young, out in the States, just around the corner from Mube Guna, says, smash those likes up, slackers. And our official moderator, Ashdi, says, hey up, Gooners, welcome to Friday night. It's Easy Talk on Canon 4 TV with Alex and the Crazy Gang. Well, there's only one crazy, and that's Mube. Look, guys, you guys are only joking, man. I'm only joking.
I'll take it.
I know you can give it as well, innit? Oh dear, what have we got? Colin says, not right. Want to stay at the top and win some major competitions where we belong. And and says, well said, Mube. Well, he said a lot of things actually. Frank says sometimes fans, especially the young ones, are very emotional, and sometimes reactions can be based on the heat of the moment. I just understand them sometimes. And Arsenal Alex, not me, it's another platform, says even more, and even to you as well, Alex. Guys, hit the like button. We have an echo in the house from DWTT. Hello, Alex, panel, and the chat room. And my wingman, original wingman, Monty, is back in the house. Evening, Alex, panel, and Canon 42 family. Please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new here. Monty. Okay, that one, we'll read that one out. Jorginho is good, but Partey is a boss, apparently. Move baby happy about that. When he came on against Everton, we completely locked up. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that second half there was probably the best performance I've seen Arsenal play this season. I don't know, what do you think, Mube? Best game? Oh.
Yeah, there's a few in there. I think we played well against a low block team. But there's a few games in there that I would say that, the game away to Bournemouth, stuff like that. We control a few games this season. I even like the game against Leicester. That game it was 1-0, but I was so calm about that game. So yeah, I think that it's fair to say this is up there with some of the best games we played this season.
Yeah, okay. Monty says, that Erdegaard is really becoming something special. Not just technically gifted, but playing for the badge as well. But a lot of people will probably say that about Zinchenko, Isaac. Zinchenko, I mean, talk about passion for Arsenal.
That is a very, very passionate guy. And
Mm.
he's brought that mentality in. And there was an interview he gave, and he said the first thing he said in the dressing room is, "We are not going for top four. We are going for the league." And most of the guys in the dressing room laughed at him. And he said now they are not laughing because he's serious about winning. He's serious. He gives his whole heart. He gives like everything in what he wants to do. You can see the way he fights, although sometimes he gives the ball away. But when he gives the ball away, you realize he wants to win it back. And even during the Villa game, he scored the equalizer and he did not celebrate that goal.
Yeah.
He was like, "Come on, I do not celebrate equalizers. I will only celebrate wins." And he was calling everybody back so that that ball gets rolling again, so that they can at least try to win that game. And he has a mentality. And during that before I knew it was one year into the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, I was like, how on earth is Zichenko wearing the armband today and Odegaard
Mm.
is on the field? That
Mm.
was the question before I realized, and I was thinking like, maybe this whole team is a whole team of leaders. All through is a whole team of leaders, and it's like Ateta wanted to buy captains. He wanted to buy a troop of captains all over. I can name all the captains he brought in. You look at Sambi was a captain at Anderlecht. You look at
Mm.
Odegaard is a captain for Norway. Zichenko captain for Ukraine. Xhaka captain for Switzerland. Partey assistant captain to Ghana. You go to Tini. He did not bring Tini in, but Tini was captain at Celtic.
Mm.
So he's brought in that winning mentality, and he has leaders, and these young guys have developed to admire these leaders, and I admire the passion of Zichenko. And
Mm.
one person who lost the most when we finish the season, please bring a show and ask who lost the most
Mm.
in the transfer window.
Mm.
I'll be number one to say Pep lost the most
Mm.
because he lost a very key ingredient in his backline. Pep
Mm.
Pep's team is shipping in a lot of goals recently. He's
Mm.
lost that ingredient. He's lost his players are not as they do not have that zeal as Zichenko has at the moment. And wow boy, why will you not have that zeal if you are winning? Winning and winning and winning.
Mm. Mm. The fan cast says Eddie is a fox in a box, but our wingers thrive more with the false nine up front. Now, Prosper, you spoke about how you think that Eddie has been restricted, much like
Exactly.
Martinelli was in previous games. But I'm sure that if Arteta was sat here, he would actually say, "But you know what, Prosper, the fact that we've restricted Eddie Nketiah is for the greater good of the performance for the team. So although he's been restricted, we're still scoring goals and we're still winning." Would he not say that, Prosper?
I don't think, honestly speaking, he's the manager, yes, but
Hmm.
I've been watching AD for a long time. You remember that season? Is it last season when we really ran out of options and we said, okay, let's try to put in AD, and he just came in and started punching the goals in, and he pushed us. And if you look at that Eddie Nketiah and this Eddie Nketiah that's playing today, there are two different players. That Eddie Nketiah was given the freedom to roam around. This one is being told to stay in that one position. But if you look at the team, the whole team and how the style of play, because you have to look at the style of play. If you're going to lock a player up and if it's not going well, because you know very well, if Saka comes in, his best option is to strike on goal, not to pass to the number 9. You see, so you need a number 9 that's all over the place. If Trossard or Martinelli come in, their first option is not to feed Nketiah. Their first option is always to shoot the ball. So we also have to look at, okay, Nketiah is still too young to be locked into this number 9 who just stays in one position. He can always adapt to a new game. He can always learn new skills, especially having Jesus next to him, Gabriel Jesus next to him as his mentor. He can always learn and he can always adjust. But when you lock him up as a manager, you're killing a talent that you might need later on. For me, Eddie Nketiah is a talented player, but he needs that freedom. He needs that confidence, And the only time I've seen Eddie Nketiah play
he has to take some of the blame too, though. He has to take some of the blame.
Yeah, he has to take some of the blame
because
but
because the chances that he's missing. That's not Eddie Nketiah. They ain't got nothing to do with Arteta. He's a striker. In Manchester City game, those 2 headers that he got in the 6-yard box. As a striker in an Arsenal club, a big club, you cannot miss those.
Yeah.
He deserved to be dropped.
Yeah, but you have to understand that the Man City game. Look at how he was sandwiched. He was a small guy among his big centre backs. So you have to look at the situations and how many times has Arsenal scored from crosses and headers. That's not our football. You see, they don't do that in training. So let's be patient with the player, but let's also understand that some of the things that are happening to a player are coming from the back room. The manager has to understand where are the key points. Where is Eddie more effective? And Eddie is more effective on the counter attack or on fast football. When you're going fast like Rashford. If you try to bring Rashford to Arsenal, he won't score as much goals simply because he relies on his pace, 2 defenders against one or one-on-one to score. But if you play in possession football, that's Gabriel Jesus' game. And that's not Eddie on the
wing. Eddie on the wing, though. We saw that in the Europa League. Remember when he played with Jesus? He played on the left wing. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's that guy. We saw him try.
Not as in him being specifically on the left, but a dynamic 9. He should be given the freedom to roam because every time he roams freely, he creates a chance for. Remember that Martin Odegaard miss? Yeah. That was a free goal for Martin Odegaard against Leeds United.
Yeah. No, again.
And then he passed again. He passed Martinelli again. Same kind of play. You see, so if he's given that freedom to roam around, he's a much better player than staying there, wait for the ball and pass the ball.
He has that to really finish. Locks him up. I know what you're saying, but he's a striker. When you get the chances, the one he did against Manchester City, I know you say it's between 2 big players, but it's free headers. There was no challenge. It's 2 free headers. I like Eddie. Don't get me wrong. Eddie's my guy, but it's a striker.
Yeah,
if you're in the box and you got players around you like that, when you get the chances, you have to finish.
How old is Eddie? Sometimes we pound the pressure. Do you remember Didier Drogba's first season? Everybody was like, this player is useless. This player is useless. He only got, 4 goals out of all the games he played. Next season, the manager believed in him.
Drogba is still useless. I can't stand it. He's another bomb.
No, but we have to look at players. Not everyone will come in like Jesus. Jesus is 25. How old is Eddie? And Jesus has gone. He's been around. He's been the international player. He has all the experience. So let's not compare. But Eddie is a talent I wouldn't like to lose, honestly speaking. He's still got a season in him to pick up. Let's give him time. He'll miss some games, he'll miss some balls, but he's still a good player.
If you have a decision to make in the summer, you have to lose one. Balogun, Jesus, Eddie Nketiah. One has to go. Who you leave? Who's going?
I think Balogun hasn't played for the squad. Okay. Do not mistake a lone player for a player who's been there in the EPL. It might just backfire.
But just to draw a line under this, Mube. Personally, I think Eddie Nketiah gets a rough time from certain sections of the fans, because if you look at Gabriel Jesus, I've mentioned this stat how many times on the channel, Mube. Gabriel Jesus didn't score for 10 games, but he still made it to the World Cup. But we don't give him a hard time. Whereas Eddie Nketiah missed those 2 chances, rightly so. He should have scored at least 1. But we jump on Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah, he is a fox in the box. But
Yeah,
he's
that's the thing. But he doesn't bring the rest of the stuff that Jesus bring though. That's the issue. You cannot tell Eddie to go left and go right. It's just not in his game. You can try it if you want, but you can't put Eddie on the left and tell him to do what Charizard do. He's just not going to do it. He's a finisher. That's what he's. Ever since he's been to Arsenal, that's what we know him as. He's a finisher. All of us been watching him a long time. No one can convince me different that Eddie is not a fox in the box. We have seen him since he just came up. The first game he played when he scored them goals against Norwich, it was in the box finishing them goals. Last season he get all the chances. He got the chances against Chelsea. He took them. This season he just haven't took them. And when you win big game, you will only get one chance. Remember, Gabriel Jesus missed that chance against Chelsea when we should have finished the game. He missed that chance. But that's the thing. He brings so much more to the team. You can look past some of the stuff that he do because he makes the team better. Eddie's not moving. I don't think it's just Arteta telling him not to move. It's just that he's not going to be as effective if he goes on the wing. I don't think he will. But that's just me. I don't have a problem with Eddie. I like him. I'm glad he's here. And I'm glad he's just not like just Jesus. You don't need two of the same player. You know what I'm saying? You want different options. He's a different option to Jesus. He can play with Jesus. He can play by himself. I think he's a different option. So now that we have Charizard, we don't really need Eddie to be doing what Jesus do or what Charizard do. Eddie need to be Eddie. Be a fox in the box. When you get your chance, you take it. Let the wingers worry about the rest of the stuff. You do what you do and what you're best at, because you're very good at finishing. Ian Wright said this all the time. Eddie is a finisher.
So let me throw the question back at you then. So you've got those players there. Who do you sell? Do you sell Balogun or Eddie Nketiah? Who are you selling?
I'm not going to say Eddie Nketiah because Balogun, we haven't seen him play for the club yet. It's just it all depends on what he come in the summer and what you see him do. But he's at the bottom of the list right now. So if one has to go without seeing him in preseason or whatever, it has to be Balogun. He's still a young player. I'm not going to sell Eddie. Eddie is proven that he can help us. Balogun had to come in the summer, but if he come preseason and looks good and take over from Eddie, then we have a discussion. But right now, I don't think we have one because he's not here. And Eddie is doing well. So
Yeah. Okay, do you want to say something before I go finally back into the live chat?
Yeah, sure. with Eddie, I like the player, and I was very skeptical about Eddie. I mean, you've seen my noise I made about Eddie, but I've changed my view of him because of the chance that he needed the minutes. But one thing that's very profound that I've heard Henri has said is that Wenger has asked Henri. The question is, will Dennis Bergkamp give you the exact same ball that Freddie Ljungberg will give you? And he had to think about it. So he had to change his game as a front man. And Henri, as a front man, has to change his game to... is that me?
No, I think
it's better.
It's Isaac.
Is it? Yeah. To continue, what I'm saying is that
To change his game to fit the team around him that gives him the ball. So he had to change. He had to study the game of Dennis Bergkamp. He had to study the game of Perez and study the game of Ljungberg in order for him to excel with them. So Eddie is a fox in the box, but he needs to. Somebody said early on, he needs to get that supply. If he doesn't get the supply, he's not gonna get the opportunities that he got against City. So it's a profound situation where the person that you're playing with, you need to understand that person. And I mean, to bring Zinchenko and Martinelli with Eddie up front, that marriage didn't work. But the minute Martinelli has gone in the center and Trossard on Martinelli's spot, Zinchenko, the three of them gel differently. The threesome there has brought in a different dynamic to the game. The all three flourish. We all asked, I mean, I think you asked the question once, does the system suit Martinelli and Zinchenko? And the answer was no. But it wasn't just Martinelli, it was also Zinchenko. So the two of them couldn't gel together. But when the swap came, now there's a marriage. Now there's an option. Now there's a cohesiveness where, because the mentality had to change. because it doesn't work with Zinchenko left back and Martinelli in front of him and Xhaka there. So there had to be a shift and a change of position and get that mentality right. And now there's a gel now. So the same with Eddie. Eddie had to have to come in and say, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not gelling with the rest of the players? Why am I not scoring the goals? It's one thing to be a fox in the box, but you still have to come and do something. There's time in the game that Eddie had to come into the center to collect some balls, and that is not what Eddie does. But he had to come in order for him to stay on the pitch and be an effect on the game. But it has to come from him as a player as well and say, what am I doing wrong? How can I change my play in order to have the team succeed?
Yeah, just to add on to what Glenn has said and Movie, I agree with both my colleagues here, but I also personally I look at managers. You can literally tell this is what Martinelli can give you when he comes in, when he cuts in. But the previous, before the winning streak started again, the previous 3 or 4 games, you could see Martinelli trying to force a dribble, and there was always a 2-on-1 on him. You could literally tell he's always giving away possession. But why is he continuing to do the same thing? Then I realized sometimes the manager tells you, you got to do this. And then when you don't do it, you sit on the bench. You see, because sometimes managers are strict like that. You have to play the way I want you to play, or you sit on the bench. You see? So sometimes, as a manager, honestly speaking, if you see you've got a young player like Eddie, you're supposed to teach him. And the best time when Eddie has played his best football is when Emil Smith Rowe is in the game. Because Emil Smith Rowe has got that blend with Eddie Nketiah, and he plays so well because Emil Smith Rowe will go right in the center, become the other striker that the defenders have to worry about. But when it's Odegaard playing, everybody will be outside the box. Eddie will be alone against maybe 4 players, opposition players in the box. And it becomes tough. But Emil Smith Rowe is the only brave midfielder we have who cuts into that box. You see? And that leaves the striker free. So the manager should know all this. Okay, I've got 2 kinds of players. When I play this system, as Glenn was saying, this player flourishes. So when I have Eddie in, I should have this player and that player so that Eddie shines, And that's management problem. That's not Eddie's problem. Now, if it's Eddie's problem, that's when you bring in a striker manager like Manchester United did. The same Rashford, go out, Rashford is useless. They brought in Benny McCarthy. Rashford is a whole different preposition altogether. You see? So sometimes the players need help from management, So that's what I just wanted to add in.
That's a good point. Colin is saying, no throwing shade on Partey now, Alex. Partey was brilliant in the second half. Mube, I'm a Premier League club, and I'm putting £60 million on the table to buy Thomas Partey. Are you selling him?
No. Next question. You always coming out with this foolishness. No. And buy who? Because buy Declan. We sell a Partey and go buy Declan Rice. We're right back in the same position that we've been at. Still got one player. There's no change. We don't need to sell it. We need to add. We need to add to him. No, not selling him. Let him play on one. Partey on one leg is better than 3/4 of the league. Okay, let him. I'm not selling him. No.
I'll keep my money to myself then. Anyway, so some action tomorrow. We're back in Premier League action against Bournemouth, and some people already say it's 3 points already won. Glenwyn, have we won that game already?
It's not so easy, man. It's not so easy. You know what? I'm gonna put a spanner in the works. First need to play the game in order to say we've got the 3 points. So any game is gonna be a tough game because everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to beat the top dog. So it's gonna be a tough game. And after the takeover of Bournemouth wasn't sleeping dogs. They put up a good fight, even when they lose. I mean, they like a sponge. They soak up goals. I mean, there's always a goal against them, but they will fight back. They will fight back in order to put pressure on you. So it's gonna be a tough talk there. But yeah, I mean, my prediction though, I'm not saying it is done. My prediction is gonna be a 2-0 though.
Prosper, for you, predictions for the game, man?
3-0.
Move
Because
on.
I feel with the players are now confident. You know, we used to lack that confidence of being on top. You know, it was unfamiliar territory, so they would go in Navy, but now they're beginning to believe we can do this. So if they stay calm, they stay in control, they know we're gonna get the goals. You know, they don't make stupid mistakes like they did in the previous game. You know, they stayed calm, they stayed in control, they waited for the goals to come and they didn't force it. You know, there are some games, especially when we started the season. You remember when we just started the season, we would win a game, but we would always be on our toes. We would always be hanging in there because we lead in 2-0, yet we're trying to force for the third goal, and then we consider another goal, it's 2-1, and then we start panicking in the last 10 minutes. But this time around, when we score a goal or we get a second goal, we stay calm. We pass the ball around, we keep possession, and that's control. We're beginning to have control of the game. So I'm not worried. I think we get in the 3 points tomorrow.
All right.
Most likely 2-3-0.
All right. So DWTG said, Mube, don't take the bait. Take a sip of your Hennessy.
I'm sitting here reading. I sure did. He can't. He
I
tried
saw
me.
that
He
same one,
tried to get me. Sell Thomas Partey. Come on, bro. You smoking something. You must be high or
Hey,
something.
everyone
Come
has
on,
their
G.
price, man. Everyone has a price.
Yeah.
If you tell me you're selling for 60 and bringing two like him, then that's a different story. But they're just going to sell him and replace him with somebody else. Then we're going to be in the same spot. Make no sense.
And
But the game tomorrow.
And paying 20 more for a player coming in.
There you go.
So you're selling him for 60 and bringing him a player for 18. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. At the game tomorrow, the team is confident. The confident the team is coming back. With it being a home game, I'm not really worried about it. I'm going big, man. You come to the slaughterhouse, you're getting put on the chopping block. It's gonna be a 5-0 kind of score line. You know, Eddie and Ketty getting two of them things. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You know.
Now I must be asking, what is Mube sipping in there?
It's straight Hennessy. It's rocks. Hennessy on this Friday, man. Come on, it's gonna be a 5-0. Anybody come to the slaughterhouse for the rest of the season? Everybody getting slapped up at Emirates. We're taking no prisoners at the Emirates. Everybody come to the Emirates. You going back with the L. Tell them I said that. You know what I'm saying? You might catch us slipping away, but at the Emirates, everybody getting slapped up. We're not playing no games. Everybody.
Oh dear. Do you know what? We've come to an end on this season talk. It's just crazy. Probably gone to bed. But anyway, we're done. We're done here. Very interesting. Went over the hour, which is all good. It's all good down to Mube. Mube, it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to have you back on channel.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's always fun being on here, man. Listening to different point of view. I like when people have different point of view. So my guy Eddie and Ketty, a fan down there on the bottom. I respect your opinion, man. We move. We all root for him. Let's hope he can bag another 10 before the season get done, and let's win this league.
It's nice having you together.
Yeah,
appreciate the energy.
Yeah, we bring it. It's all in the cup. It's all in the cup.
It's on the sip. It's on the
sip. Then we win the slaughterhouse, man.
Yeah.
Okay, before we all go out, can we just do an Alex? Yeah, you know.
Prosper.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. All I wanted to say is to the fans out there, and not just in UK, all over the world, be patient and please do not abuse our players and do not abuse the opponent players. Just
Yeah.
keep it calm, keep it clean, and do it respectfully. You can
Unless it's unless it's
banter.
unless it's unless it's Neil Mopey, yeah, whatever his name is. He and Sean and Sean Dyche. You can do whatever you want with them. But other than that, I got you.
That's all good, man.
Neil Mopey, he another one. He there too. You need to go a championship. He need to be in League One. What a see, we need. That's why we needed Greg Doozy to choke him out again, man. I can't stand him, a little rat. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna leave the stream alone. Alex, big up, my big up.
Anyway. Oh dear. I think we might be doing a watch along tomorrow. My brother will be doing that tomorrow for the Bournemouth game. On Sunday, remember, it's the big Sunday show hosted by Paul Bray. And we're back to Monday. Monday, you might see Glenn win again. Not sure. We'll be talking about that.
Yeah, we have to talk about that one now.
Absolutely. Anyway, it's over. It's done. Done. Cannon fodder. The channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.